Hello friends. If you're 65 or older, your next driver's license renewal will not work the way it did last time, and one missed step can cost you the license itself. Today, 6 renewal traps hitting older drivers in 2026. And stay with me until number 6, because that's the one most people have completely backwards. The new rule everyone is sharing online. Number 1. The in-person switch. This is the trap that catches the most people, because it arrives disguised as routine. For years, you renewed your license online or by mail, and it took 5 minutes. Then you hit a certain birthday, and that option quietly disappears. In California, once you turn 70, you must renew in person at a DMV field office. No online option, no mail option, period. In Texas, that switch happens at age 79, and once you reach 85, your renewal cycle drops from 8 years to just 2. Here's the mechanic that makes this dangerous. The state does not call you to explain any of this. You get a renewal notice that looks like every notice before it, and if you assume you can handle it from your kitchen table like last time, you can run out the clock. The typical mistake looks like this. A 71-year-old in California sets the notice aside, tries to renew online the week before expiration, discovers the online door is closed to him, and then can't get a DMV appointment before the deadline. Now he's choosing between driving on an expired license, which is a ticket in every state, and an ugly complication if he's ever in a crash, or not driving at all. So here's what to do this week. Pull out your license and look at the actual expiration date. If you're at or near your state's threshold, 70 in California, 79 in Texas, different elsewhere, book the in-person appointment 6 to 8 weeks ahead. The appointment costs nothing to book, and showing up early costs you nothing but a morning. Number 2. The vision test you didn't prepare for. Once you cross your state's age line, a vision screening stops being optional. California checks vision at every in-person renewal for drivers 70 and up. The test itself is free, done right at the counter. Texas checks vision at every renewal from 79. Florida draws the line at 80. From that birthday on, every renewal requires a vision test. Your renewal cycle becomes 6 years, and the standard is 20/50ths or better in at least one eye, with or without glasses. Roughly 19 states now have some extra vision rule aimed at older drivers. Here's why this trips people up. The test has teeth. In Texas, if your corrected vision comes in worse than 20/70ths, you don't just squint and try again. You get sent to an outside vision specialist before you can move forward. The typical mistake? Showing up with a glasses prescription that's 3 or 4 years old. Your eyes changed, your lenses didn't. You fail a screening you would have passed with current glasses. And now you've turned a 5-minute counter test into weeks of paperwork, specialist visits, and possibly a restricted license. The fix costs you 1 appointment. Get your eyes examined within a month or 2 before your renewal. Update the lenses if the prescription moved, and bring the glasses with you because the standard is measured with correction if you use it. One eye exam protects the license you've held for 50 years. That is the cheapest insurance in this entire video. Number 3. Illinois just flipped the script, and the timing is a trap of its own. For decades, Illinois was the only state in America that forced drivers to take a behind-the-wheel road test purely because of their age. Starting at 79, that ends. Under the Road Safety and Fairness Act, championed by Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulias, the mandatory road test age jumps from 79 all the way to 87, effective July 1st, 2026. Here's the new structure. From 79 to 80, you renew every 4 years in person with a vision test, no road test. From 81 to 86, you renew every 2 years in person with a vision test, still no road test. Only at 87 and older do you renew every single year with both a vision test and a driving test. Now here's the catch buried in the fine print, and it's costing people right now. If your license expired before July 1st, 2026, you still must take the road test even if you walk into the facility after July 1st. The cutoff runs on your expiration date, not the date you show up. So the typical mistake is an 80-year-old in Illinois whose license lapsed in June, who waited for the new law to kick in, and who now has to pass the very road test he was trying to avoid, because waiting turned him into a late renewal under the old rules. If you have family in Illinois in their late 70s or 80s, Tell them today. Check the expiration date first, then plan the renewal. The date on the card decides which set of rules you get. And remember what I told you at the start. Number 6 is the rule change everyone over 65 is talking about, and it does not exist. We're almost there. Number 4, the re-examination letter, the quietest way licenses actually get taken. Forget road tests at the counter. In most states, including California, the DMV can order you in for a re-examination if someone files a report questioning your driving, and that someone can be your doctor, a police officer after a fender bender, or even a family member. The report can be confidential. You don't get a warning. You get a letter with a deadline. Here's the mechanic. That letter is not a suggestion. If you ignore it, and plenty of people do because it looks like junk mail or because they're offended by it, the DMV doesn't shrug. Miss the deadline and your license can be suspended for non-response, without anyone ever evaluating your actual driving. That's the trap. People lose their license not because they failed a test, but because they never showed up to take it. The typical mistake is emotional, not practical. A 76-year-old gets the notice, feels insulted, decides it's a mistake that will sort itself out, and 3 weeks later, he's suspended. What to do instead? Respond before the deadline, every time. If a medical form is required, get your doctor to complete it promptly. Doctors' offices routinely sit on these forms, so tell them the date it's due. Bring documentation of any condition that's treated and controlled. A re-examination is winnable. A missed deadline is not. And if you're the adult child watching a parent's mail pile up, this is the one envelope you open together. Number 5. The fake DMV text message draining real bank accounts right now. The message says your license or your vehicle registration is about to be suspended, there's an unpaid fee, and there's a link to pay it in the next 24 hours. It looks official. It names your state. And it is a scam, full stop. Here is the one rule that beats every version of this con. Your state DMV does not text you payment links. Not for renewals, not for fees, not for suspensions. Real license problems arrive by mail, on paper, with your full name and a case number, not by text with a countdown clock. The mechanic these criminals exploit is exactly what we've covered today. They know renewal rules for older drivers changed. They know you're not sure what's true, and urgency plus confusion equals stolen card numbers. The typical mistake is tapping the link just to check because the fee looks small, $5 or $10. But the fee was never the point. The point is the card number, the bank login, the identity. Once that's gone, you're not out $10. You're spending months untangling accounts. So the move is simple and absolute. Any text about your license, delete it. Then, if you're worried there's a real issue, type your state DMV's official website yourself. It ends in .gov, or call the number printed on your renewal notice. Never the number in the text. And say it out loud to the drivers you love. The DMV writes letters. Scammers write texts. Number 6. The new 2026 federal driving law for seniors. And here's what most people have completely backwards. It does not exist. You've seen the posts. Starting in 2026, every driver over 70 supposedly faces annual renewals, mandatory cognitive screenings, mandatory road tests, a sweeping new federal crackdown. Millions of people shared those warnings, believing they were protecting their parents. Every part of it is false. There is no such federal law, no such bill, no such regulation. And here's the reason it could never be true, which nobody in those posts mentions. The federal government does not issue driver's licenses. The U.S. Department of Transportation has no authority to set age-based renewal rules. That power belongs entirely to your state. 50 states, 50 rulebooks. Now look at what actually happened while everyone panicked about Washington. The only state that had an age-triggered road test, Illinois, raised that age from 79 to 87. The real trend went the opposite direction of the scare. But the fake rule does damage two ways. First, it feeds the scammers from number 5. Panic makes their fake suspension texts believable. Second, and worse, it teaches people that every warning is nonsense, so they tune out and miss the real state-level rules from numbers 1 through 4, the ones that genuinely can cost a license. The truth is the exact reverse of the viral post. The threat isn't a new law from Washington. The threat is the ordinary envelope from your own state that you didn't open in time. So here's the picture: the in-person switch, the vision screening, the Illinois cutoff, the re-examination deadline, the scam text, and the federal rule that never was. One action step this week: take out your license, read the expiration date, then spend 10 minutes on your state DMV's .docs site reading its senior renewal rules, and put a reminder in your calendar 90 days before that date. If this protected your license or a parent's, subscribe and share this with your family. It matters.